in attendance here to please rise and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call. Councilwoman Barnum.
Here.
Councilwoman Hushleray.
Here.
Councilman Perticone.
Here.
Councilman Seeley.
Here.
Supervisor Bello.
Here.
And attorney for the town.
Here.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, and welcome everyone here tonight who are joining us. We have our first piece of business tonight is a proclamation, and we're going to recognize many of the young people who are in the audience tonight. So I'm going to ask the town board to join me down at the podium for this presentation. Okay, at tonight's town board meeting, we have yet another opportunity to celebrate the success of some of the youth in our town. Irondequoit's Pop Warner program, as all of you know, is incredibly beneficial to our community. And in each year, it seems as though we're celebrating another of their great achievements. Pop Warner's volunteers, athletes, coaches, and families strive to embody the foundations established by Glenn Scobie Pop Warner: teamwork, dedication, and a strong work ethic in academics as well as athletics. A few months ago, the midget cheerleaders competed in and won Eastern Regional Grand Championships and the New York State Championships, allowing them to advance to the National Championships in Florida, where they ranked third place nationwide in their age group. We are incredibly proud of their hard work and achievements this year and would like to recognize them for their efforts with a proclamation and some awards tonight. So joining us here are the Junior Lancer Midget Cheerleaders. I'd ask you to all come forward and join us right over here, as well as your coaches, the head coach, Victoria Freeman, and assistant coaches, Kara Ramondi and Dominique Robertson. So if you guys like to come forward. Okay, and we have a proclamation from the town board that I'll read to you all, and then we'll take a picture, a group picture with everybody. It says, whereas a great community is only as great as those individuals and organizations that perform exemplary service on behalf of their community, whether through academic or professional endeavors or simply through a lifetime of good citizenship. And whereas attendant to such concern and in full accord with long-standing traditions, the town of Irondequoit is justly proud to acknowledge the Junior Lancer Midget Cheerleaders upon their victories and many successes at the Eastern Regional Grand Championships, New York State Championships, and National Championships. And whereas as representatives of the town of Irondequoit, the Junior Lancers and their dedicated coaches lived up to the long-standing Pop Warner's mission and indeed returned triumphant. And whereas Junior Lancer volunteers, athletes, parents, and coaches have made a lifetime commitment to appreciating and promoting teamwork, dedication, work ethic, and citizenship, and in doing so have greatly impacted the fabric of our community. And whereas the town of Irondequoit has a long history of distinguished organizations and individuals who exemplify such care for others and foster the same commitment to our community and the generations to follow. So now, therefore, let it be resolved that we, Supervisor Adam Bello, and the town board, on behalf of the entire town of Irondequoit, do hereby congratulate the Junior Lancers Midget Cheerleaders on their victories at the Eastern Regional Grand Championships, New York State Championships, and the National Championships on this day, March 17th, 2016. Congratulations. And so I'm going to give this to, who's going to stand in the middle here? Who wants to stand in the middle? You? Okay. And we're all going to come in and take a quick picture with everybody. Congratulations. We're all going to come in real tight here. Yep. All right. Like the paparazzi, right? Good. I have a certificate here for each of the girls to take home as well. I thought I'd let you hand those out to everybody. All right, thank you so much. Of course.
Congratulations.
I felt so funny us standing next to each other with our, I'm glad I wore
We
a
coordinated.
little,
We're that cheesy.
you know what, I almost just kept it without the thing I didn't. They got the uniform working. Us. Because I almost wore it without this.
It's my
and it
only
would've
green
been
shirt,
exactly-
too.
Me too.
Oh boy.
I know.
And there goes the whole room.
Well, it is St. Patrick's Day, so you know.
But my husband's remains.
Yay.
No. No. Sit down. Normally he tunes in online, so he at least, pays attention to what's going on.
What'd you say, you meant online?
He usually watches online.
Oh, yeah.
Streams it.
Okay, I have just a couple other quick announcements before we move on to public input. On March 22nd at 7 p.m. Is the next step in our active transportation plan, which again, remember, is a study that the town is undertaking to look for ways that the town can become more hospitable to alternative modes of transportation. This is pedestrian transportation, bikes, things like that in our trail system through town. So that's again on March 22nd at 7 p.m. We're going to have a presentation on where we are and update the public and it's going to be in the library meeting rooms. So you can join us next week. On April 2nd from 9 to 1 o'clock, from 9 a.m. to 1 o'clock on April 2nd, is the town's electronics recycling and paper shredding event. We've had a lot of questions about this, so make sure you mark your calendars. It's on April 2nd from 9 to 1. It's right here at Town Hall. You can bring your electronics. Again, we do paper shredding, and this one's a little unique in our area. We are accepting the old tube television, so if you have the old tube TVs you're looking to dispose of, we'll take those Saturday the 2nd. Also on April 30th from 8:30 to noon is the program we started a couple years ago, the Invigorate Irondequoit. So again, that's 8:30 to noon on April 30th. And registration forms, more information are located on the town's website, irondequoit.org. So I'd encourage you to hop on the website, register the event so we know you're coming, we know how many t-shirts to order, and have enough projects for everybody to participate in. That's what I have. We're going to move on to public input. We have a few folks signed up to speak tonight. Let me look here. Oh, actually, we have one for the general public input, and then we'll get to the public hearings in a little bit. So for public input, the first person signed up is John DiProgetto. Oh, whoops. I'm sorry. We got to move the podium there. I got ahead of myself. Thanks, Terry. Is Mr. DiProgetto here? No? Okay. Well, did anybody else like to speak at public input? We're going to do the public hearings at 7:35. That's when those start. We can't do them before that. So if you're here for a public hearing, I apologize. We're going to have to wait. But did anybody else want to just speak in general during public input and didn't have an opportunity? Okay. Seeing none, we can move on to the financial report.
The 2015 financial report displays the third pass of the year-end financial results for the town as of February 29th. The town's books are now closed, open only for corrections and traditional closing entries. The 2015 financial results will not be presented again in this forum until June, at which time our auditors, the Bonadio Group, will review and present the town's 2015 financial statement and audit results at both the workshop and the board meetings. Total expenditures and encumbrances for the town for 2015 are $31,599,000, favorable for the full year at 97% of budget. The expenses break down as follows. 96.3%, or $31,360,000, are actual expenses, and encumbrances account for $239,000, which equates to 0.7% of budget. The general fund expenses are 96.8% favorable for the full year, a total of $18,640,000. Those expenses are comprised of $18,447,000 of actual expenditures and $193,000 of encumbered expenses. Collectively, the highway funds have expended 96.9% of its budget, a total of $5,328,000. The underruns in highways 1 and 4 more than offset the higher than budgeted costs in Highway 3. The library fund is slightly over budget at 103.6% of budget, a total of $2,048,000. The other major funds are substantially below budget. Sewer fund is at 89.2% of budget, a total of $3,529,000, and stormwater drainage has expended $693,000, 85.1% of budget. As of 2/29/2016, this closing cycle, the general fund revenue is $19.1 million, 100.6% of budget. As you can see from the report, the revenue is accounted for. In the instances where the revenue has not been received, we have entered the appropriate accrual. So here are some noteworthy revenue items for the year. 10.6 for the general fund, $10.6 million of real estate taxes, pilot payments of $179,000, $3,587,000 of sales tax. Sales tax is 2.5% under budget. Mortgage taxes received $793,000. Mortgage tax is 22% over budget. $745,000 of franchise cable revenue, $613,000 of state aid. Other sources of revenue total $1,743,000, and that category is favorable to budget at 110%. The favorability in that category is primarily driven by safety and rental inspection fees and property maintenance. And also in that category is a refund of excess dental premiums from Excellus. According to these preliminary results from operations, the general fund revenue is more than $400,000 greater than expenses, which will allow us to end the year adding to the general fund balance. Other pertinent results: for the total town, $32.3 million has been received to date, which equates to 100.8% of budget. The real estate tax component of that revenue is $16.5 million. So regarding the revenue for the other major funds, library has recorded 99.1% of budget, $1,959,000. $5,545,000 was received by the highway, which reflects 101% of budget. Revenue for sewer is $3,972,000, 100.7% of budget. This concludes my financial report for the year ending 2015 that was compiled as of February 29th.
Thanks, Andy. Does anybody have any questions about the financial report for the year 2015? Seeing none, can I have a motion to accept the financial report? In a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. And you have another one.
Yes.
All right.
The 2016 financial results for the town as of February 29th. Total expenditures and encumbrances are $7,285,000, equating to 21.4% of budget, higher than the 16.7% of the year that has elapsed. Actual expenditures are $4,229,000, and encumbrances are $3,055,000. Typically, encumbrances are high early in the year. Departments commit to services, supplies, and commodities that will be needed throughout the year. The general fund expenses are 20.2% of budget, $3,993,000. That spending level is reasonable at this point in the year. The expenditures break down as follows. Actual expenditures are $2,753,000. Encumbrances, $1,240,000. Together, the expenses in the highway funds are $1,618,000, 30.8% of budget. Again, that's higher than the percent of the year that has elapsed. And that's due primarily to significant encumbrances. In Highway 1, there are high encumbrances for gas and fuel. Equipment parts and debt service in Highway 3 has high encumbrances. And in Highway 4, the cost of salt, both for the actual expenses and encumbrances, are prominent. The expenditures in the library are under budget, $254,000 or 11.1%. The expenses in the other major funds are higher than the percent of the year that has elapsed. The sewer fund is at 19.6% of budget, $846,000. The encumbrances and that's due primarily to encumbrances for debt service and for the purchase of a heavy-duty dump truck. Stormwater drainage is at 28.4% of budget. Again, that's due to an encumbrance for the purchase of a heavy-duty dump truck in that fund. The general fund revenue received is $11,378,000, 58% of budget. Of that amount, $10.6 million is tax revenue. All of the taxes are in for each of all of the funds. $131,000 of pilot revenue represents 69.3% of that budget. That is all that is currently due. Regarding the entire town, 68% of revenue has been received, $22.2 million. $16.5 million is real estate tax. The library has received 94.2% of its budgeted revenue. Highway has received 81.5% of its budgeted revenue, $4.3 million. Sewer has also received $4.3 million, 99.2% of that fund's budget. So this concludes my financial report for February 2016.
Great, thank you, Annie. Does anybody have any questions or comments about the financial report? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Approval of minutes, February 11, 2016, the workshop meeting.
Moved.
A second? Is there a second?
Second. Nicole
I
did.
thought somebody else already said.
Oh, sorry. I didn't hear you. Any questions or comments about the minutes? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
February 18, 2016, the regular town board meeting.
Can I have a motion and a second?
Second.
Any questions or comments about the minutes? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Items for board action. Item number 4, due to the public hearing not starting until 7:35, authorizing the award of a contract for the repair of 837 Titus Avenue.
Director McCann.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. As you and the town board know, this is the third property in the series of properties we initiated action against last year. Last month, we had the demolition of the properties at Seacliff and Montcalm, 837 Titus. The fire marshal did a safety inspection there and determined that the roof needed to be repaired, and there needed to be several other items there that required immediate attention. This referral will authorize a contract with Savage and Son Installation LLC. They're a roofing company. We solicited quotes for that job. We had received 4 quotes, and Savage and Son is the lowest quote, and we're recommending that the board approve them. They have done work with the IHIP program, and they're a qualified contractor, and they do quality work. And I guess what I'll let you speak to the developments at 837 Titus Avenue, Mr. Supervisor. I know this is a property that has needed attention for some time, and we're hopeful and confident that there will be some positive activity going on there in the near future. I was there yesterday with Fire Marshal Merrick, and there were workers who were there on behalf of the company that's managing for the bank that now owns the property, and they were actually cleaning out the property and getting it in good order in preparation of what we hope will be positive activity in terms of a sale with this. But before I conclude, I would just like to also publicly acknowledge Fire Marshal Merrick for the job he's done with this and taking the lead on this issue. As you all know, we've been short-staffed there. We had a retirement towards the end of last year, and Mr. Merrick has been doing an outstanding job in taking the lead on this. And as you know, at the last town board meeting, we hired an assistant fire marshal who's going to be assisting him with his duties. And I'm pleased to let you know that now that we're to the point where we are with these, we will be looking in the not too distant future for having a next round of properties that need attention, and we'll be getting to work on that shortly and have something to the board in the near future with that. Thank you.
Great. Thank you. And I would also like to acknowledge Fire Marshal Merrick for his work on this and the town staff. This property, so folks understand where this is, 837 Titus is the property on the corner of Titus and Brookview. That's been the source, I think, of a lot of, because of its high-profile location, it was a source of a lot of frustration of folks. And, this is the continuation of our vacant property legislation that we passed last year that allows the town to deal with some of these properties. If you saw last month, we demolished 2 properties that were ruled to be unsafe structures, and the town had ordered them demolished, and we demolished, and they were demolished. That now we did the same thing with the one on Titus. Instead of a demolished, this one could be salvaged. This one that is needed a repair. We ordered the repair to be made. It was not, and so the town board and the town received bids to make the repair. So the blue tarp that residents have had to endure on that roof will be no more in the next couple of weeks, and the property is going to be cleaned up. In addition to that, this is a property we've been tracking very carefully over the last several months. And this speaks to the larger problem of vacant properties and zombie properties. Director McCann and I actually went to the sale of this property several weeks ago when it was foreclosed on, and we understood that it was for sale on the steps of the county office building. We went to see that. And unfortunately, what we saw is what you see a lot of times. There were people there ready to buy the property. There were contractors there ready to buy it and clean it up. And instead, the bank set a very high dollar amount to prevent that from happening. So we're moving forward, and we're going to move forward with our repairs, because if the bank is not going to make the repairs, the current owner, we're going to make it for them, and we're going to charge them for it. So it will not be at the expense of taxpayers, but the property will be cleaned up. And what we witnessed and what we've been going through for the last several months is indicative of the problem, and it's a much larger community problem of vacant properties that the town of Irondequoit is going to continue to work on and be a leader on in this county, in this region. And being aggressive in managing this process and cleaning these up. So, as the director said, we demolished 2. We're cleaning this one. This one's going to get some attention, and then in the very near future, in the next month or so, we will be bringing additional properties to the town board to require more repairs, perhaps a couple more demolitions, but we're going to keep going through this process and keep our foot on the gas pedal and try to make a benefit in some of these neighborhoods. I know when the properties were demolished in the other parts of town, the residents on those streets, I know, were very grateful that these blights to their neighborhood, these properties that were diminishing and devaluing their property values, were now gone. So I want to thank the town staff and the town board for all their hard work on this. I neglected to ask for a motion in a second, though, when we brought up the resolution. So can I have a motion?
I move the aforementioned resolution.
Thank you, and a second. Okay, any other questions or
I
comments?
do have one question. This contract, these contracts, Jeff, are with the town, right?
Yes, they are.
Okay.
And,
Do they fall under Public Works prevailing wage?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
we made that clear with all four of the people who responded to the
Because, you know,
quote.
I looked through some of this stuff, because, you know, some of these contractors probably don't bid public work, but so long as they know going in.
We made it very clear, the fire marshal and I met with all four of the bidders, made that very clear to them. And they all had estimated that was probably going to add about 15 to 20%
Yeah.
on the labor portion, not the entire bill, but the labor portion. One thing I just realized that I forgot to mention is that also we instructed the people who responded to this quote that we would like the job done within 30 days of when the contract is signed. So that's
Well,
another.
that's probably why you'll see some of the labor smiling over there, you know. That's probably why.
Yeah.
Their wages went up.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, that's it. Thanks.
Okay, anybody else?
No, I think it's encouraging to hear that the bank was over there, had people over there doing other work. I think they're starting to get the message that we have a really great policy, and so kudos to the supervisor and staff for developing it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Good job.
Okay. With that, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Item 5, calling for a public hearing on the matter of granting a special use permit to operate a computer learning center on premises at 1839 East Ridge Road in an M manufacturing district.
Move it.
And a second?
Second.
Thank you. Okay, this resolution is not approving the special use permit. This is setting the public hearing for that application from April 21st at 7:35. And again, this is a special use permit for the computer learning center application that the town board received and reviewed at our workshop meeting last week. Any questions or concerns? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Item number 6, authorizing the supervisor to enter into a contract with Rochester District Umpires Association for umpires services for town-sponsored recreational leagues at McAvoy Park.
Have a motion
Move.
and a second? A motion? Okay, thank you, guys. And again, this is for umpire services. It's that time of year. Again, we're getting ready for our summer leagues. Any questions or comments from the board? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Item number 7, awarding the Somerville Area Sewer Replacement Program Phase 3.
Can I have a motion
So moved.
and a second?
Second.
Thank you. I'm going to ask our acting commissioner, Bob Kiley.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. This resolution would authorize the award for the Somerville Phase 3 sanitary sewer replacement project. Phase 3 of this project encompasses Parkview Terrace, North Terrace, and a section on 3rd Street. Sealed bids were received, and they were publicly opened on May 7th, 2016, with the lowest responsible bidder being Ransco Pipeline in the amount of $292,075 and no cents. This sum was actually lower than the engineer's estimate for this Phase 3 project, so we were very happy with the price. Again, this project will result in new sanitary sewers, mains and laterals, associated improvements with the roadway, and drainage for both, for Parkview Terrace, North Terrace, and 3rd Street.
Great. Thank you, Bob. Any questions or comments from the board? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Item number 8, awarding a municipal lease for 3 2016 or newer SUVs and 1 2016 or newer pickup truck.
Can I have a motion?
Moved.
And a second. Any further questions or comments from the board? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Item number 9, authorizing the standardization of generators, pumps, and panel boxes for various pump stations located throughout the town of Arundequoit.
Moved.
And a second?
Second.
Great, thank you. And thank you, Bob, Mr. Kiley, for working on this and putting this together. This standardization is something that I think in the long run will save the town money which is something we're always looking to do, but also is the right thing to do for our various pump stations. So I appreciate your work on this and putting this together. Any questions or comments from the board? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Item number 10, pursuant to the State Environmental Quality Review Act with respect to the dedication of Dubelbeiss Lane.
Okay, hold on. Before I ask for a motion in a second, and then someone needs to remind me to ask for a motion in a second, I am going to, I just want to talk about the next series of 4 resolutions. I figured we'll do it all right now, and then we'll do the seeker, and then we can just approve them. The next 4 resolutions are all relative to the dedication of Dubelbeiss Lane. Dubelbeiss Lane is off of East Ridge Road. You'll note it has the Trimaldi paving service, the animal hospital. I think AccuPave is back there. There's a number of businesses that are along this road. This is a piece of road that had long been neglected and was the subject of a lot of, I think, different ownership issues throughout the years. And there was a commitment made by previous administrations going back years ago to the business owners in that area that the town, if those businesses had made certain upgrades to the road, the town would consider dedication of the road, and that just never happened. And I don't think it's fair to the businesses that were there, located, or their customers. And it also created a situation, I think, that has had a negative impact on that area, on the businesses there, and frankly, the safety of the road and the upkeep of the road. So we had a lot of conversations here with the town. I've talked to several of the business owners on that street, and we decided the best way to move forward is to honor the town's commitment to those business owners and take dedication of that road. So I think this is a good thing in the long term for that business community there, for that the commercial corridor there, for the folks that are located on the road, and also, as importantly, the customers who need to have access to those businesses and make sure their access is safe. And that road is being maintained. So I think this is a good thing for us to do. And again, it goes back to honor commitments that the town had made years ago. So with that, I'll ask for a motion on the seeker resolution.
Moved.
In a second.
Second.
Okay, and I'm going to ask Bob to do the seeker presentation for the town board.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. For the State Environmental Quality Review of this project, a short environmental assessment form was completed. The proposed project consists of taking of the aforementioned roadway, which at this time is a private road. The road is located at the beginning of East Ridge Road and runs south for .047 miles in a length and 25 feet in width of asphalt surface. The proposed right-of-way for this roadway is 30 feet wide. The proposed project would also include the town obtaining easements over an existing guide rail located on the west side of Dubelbeiss Lane on tax map number 092.05-1-85, also known as 285 Medley Center Parkway, and tax map number 092.05-1-41, also known as 1825 East Ridge Road. There are no adverse impacts associated with the taking of dedication of this roadway, and as such, a negative declaration is declared.
Thank you, Bob. Any questions or comments from the board? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
It is now 7:35. Do you want to go through the...
Yep, we can do the public hearings now.
Okay.
Okay, we're going to start with the first public hearing. Do you want to announce it?
Upon the matter to amend Section 222-62 of the Code of the Town of Arundecoit in order to include both sides of Seneca Road from 200 feet east of Arenda Drive to the Newport Yacht Club.
Can I have a motion to open the public hearing?
Moved.
And a second?
Second.
Second from Councilwoman Barnum. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. The public hearing is open. We have 3 individuals signed up to speak tonight and address the board, and I thank you for your patience in waiting to the time. The first person signed up to speak is Robert Shanebrook. Mr. Shanebrook is not here tonight. Okay. The next person to sign up is Tanya Foster.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I have a question, I think a couple questions, and I don't know if I address it to you or the person who is responsible for maintaining the roads in Arundecoit. Is there a Department of Roads or something back there?
Yep, we have our commissioners here. Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry, what's your name? Bob Kiley. Bob, thank you. I have a question about why it was it designated from 200 feet east of Arunda to Newport Yacht Club because that is a dedicated road?
Well,
Is that a publicly maintained road?
As the roadway is in question, is maintained and plowed by the town, by highway law, it is technically a town-maintained road, a town-owned road.
Okay, and
so, well, let me just say this too. Typically, at a public hearing, we don't go back and forth. It's really more an opportunity to hear from residents what your concerns are. So, what I would encourage you to do, if you could address the board with the concerns you have about those issues, and then I think what we could do is after the meeting, we could have the commissioner, the police chief, and any members of the town board. We can meet after the meeting to go over a lot of questions you might have as well.
my concern is based on an assumption that it's a public road, so
Okay.
I wanted to confirm, my understanding that it's a public road before I express my concerns. But
I see, yes.
But thank you for
Okay.
explaining the format.
Of course.
So, on between 652 Seneca Road and 655 Seneca Road, which is not at the end of this road, it's like maybe 2/3 down. There's a sign that's been there for 2 years saying that beyond that sign, it's a private road.
Okay.
So he just confirmed that it is a public road to the yacht club. I have photographs of this sign relative to these addresses. Should I give the documentation to?
Yeah, you should give them to me. Yes. So you have a question about where the public road and a private road would be right there.
Well, I think the gentleman answered my question that it is a public road all the way down to the yacht club. And I provided you with documentation of basically a Google map of where 652 Seneca Road is. And then you can see on the pictures that I attached, you can see the sign that it is a private road very close to 652 Seneca Road. But 652 Seneca Road is not even near the end of Seneca Road, which is the yacht club, and the public road ends at the yacht club. So I want to my question is, can anybody just put up a sign anywhere to say it's a private road even though it's not?
Okay.
And if people are doing this, is it a violation of any of the codes in the town to put up a sign just to say this is a private road, and it is not?
Okay.
And once that happens, what does the town do about it? Does the town remove it? Does the town send letters to the addresses that are most opt to benefit from that sign to say, we remove this sign and we don't know who put it up, but, if you see these signs, it's kind of a violation of whatever code.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for supplying these pictures. What we will do is, after this meeting, we will review these pictures. I will speak to the Commissioner of Public Works, and we will get back to you with answers to your questions, and we'll make sure that those are resolved prior to moving forward with this. Okay.
Yeah, and I've lived on that road for 15 years, and that sign just came up 2 years ago.
Okay. Good to know. Thank you.
So you can look at the sales that would benefit from that sign
Okay.
and do some basic, reverse engineering, why they went up, when they went up, and who benefits from it.
Great. Thank you.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it. Thank you for coming tonight. The next speaker signed up is Jean Scantlin.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I also have some pictures, and I oppose the proposal. So
Okay.
Could I pass them out?
Sure, yep, you can bring them to me. Thank you. Okay. Oh, they're all the same. Here.
I believe that putting no parking signs to the end of Seneca Road, as it says in the notice that went to the neighbors, would effectively make this a private road and with no access to the public. And I think that that's wrong. I've lived on Arenda Drive, which is at the top of this area, for 43 years, and I occasionally walk or drive down Seneca Road to the bay, more often in the summertime. I have only seen a car parked on the actual roadway once in all that time. There are already no parking signs in 3 places on the north side of the road. There are only a few homes on this portion of Seneca Road and very little traffic. There's more traffic in the summer when the yacht clubs have events, but the yacht clubs have sufficient parking. Occasionally, people like to fish near the bottom of the road. See the narrow strip of asphalt in photo 5. That small strip on the side is where people stand or sit to fish. They park in the parking spaces, which are on the north side of the road, just before the Newport Yacht Club, and across the street from where they fish. See pictures 3 and 4. I've never seen more than 1 car at a time there, and have never noticed a problem with cars parking on the road or blocking the road. As I was walking up the hill a couple weeks ago, a driver stopped me and asked me if the road was private. He said he'd like to set up his camera and get a shot of the sunset. I said it's a public road, the town plows it and maintains it. So I'm really here to speak for the public, the people who did not get a notice, the people who like to come down, throw a line in the water, try to catch a fish out of the cove, or take a photograph of the view. This small area where they fish is only about 200 feet of beautiful quiet just before the entrance to the Newport Yacht Club, which is photo 5. There are no homes near this spot, but there is a lot for sale nearby. This road is not just any road. The upper part of the section of road in question, between Arenda Drive and the Mohawk Yacht Club, that's further up the hill, has been shored up and stabilized through a major stabilization project at a cost of millions of taxpayer dollars. One of the reasons for this was the careless cutting of trees that obstruct the view to homeowners. At the present time, the road is washing away near the bottom of the hill, as it often does, and it's taxpayer dollars that repair these problems. This is not a private road. I think the real reason we're here tonight is because someone has purchased an expensive property on the water and does not like the look of fishermen near their property. I think this is the same individual who has been complaining to the police and who has erected the signs that say private road, no fishing or trespassing, violators will be prosecuted. That sign is pictured in photo number 1. There are actually 2 of those signs, one on either side of the road. I think these signs should be taken down. I don't think you can say a public road is a private road because you'd like it to be. And the people who fish there don't bother anyone, they don't block the road, and they have as much right to be there as anyone. Seneca Road and Irondequoit Bay and this access to the water is public and belongs to all of us. It is important to remember that in deciding this issue. When someone chooses to buy property on the water, they don't get to deny others access to the water on a public road. I think that is the issue here. Any complaints, well, like I said before, putting up signs, no parking signs to the end of the road would effectively make this a private road, and it's wrong. Any complaints about public safety are recent and, I think, trumped up, in my opinion. Whoever is responsible for putting up the signs that say the road is private, no fishing, violators will be prosecuted. I think that should, I mean, is that illegal? I'm not sure, but something should be done about it. This is a public road, and the taxes paid by these few homeowners could never come close to what has cost the taxpayer to maintain it. I don't know what the police investigation entailed, and we didn't hear a presentation from the police, so I'm not sure what it entailed. But I doubt that they can produce a stack of tickets for cars blocking the roadway or photos of cars parking in the road. I don't know if there are problems at night, and if that is a problem, then erect signs that say no parking from sunset to sunrise. But I urge you not to cut off access to a public road and a public waterway. My opinion is that this is a solution without a problem, and please deny the proposal.
Okay. Great, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Can I just ask, did you get a notice for this meeting?
I did not, but a neighbor, Tanya shared it with me. So,
Okay,
Can anybody come to this meeting?
of course.
Okay, I didn't know if you only had to have a notice.
Oh, no,
Oh,
no, no. What I
no,
meant is
no.
we want,
Everybody?
you know,
No,
when
and I'm
something
sorry
comes
for the
up, we
pause.
want to make sure everybody gets noticed who's going to be affected.
I'm just writing down a couple of things you said real quick. Hold on a second.
Yeah, right, everyone should get one.
Okay, great, thanks. Was there anyone else here? Are you Mr. Shanebrook? Okay. Did you want, anybody else here want to speak that didn't have a chance to sign up to speak on this? Yep, come on forward.
Thank you for this opportunity to speak on this issue. My name is Peter Allen. We live at the top of the hill. Usually my directions to visitors is that we are the last driveway on the right before you start down the hill. We've lived there for 34 years, and traffic on the hill is a problem. Parking on the hill is a problem, especially on the weekends, which is the only time that there's any business there at all. I have had numerous encounters with other cars. I'm a member of Newport Yacht Club as well as living at the top of the hill, so I have an interest in both ends of the road. I'm concerned that there is parking on a very regular basis on that road, especially on the weekends. And it's not unusual to see 2 or more cars parked along that road. It's concerning. And I would like to suggest that it's really not necessary. There are plenty of parking spaces at the top of the hill where there is parking on the town right-of-way, but not on the road. That parking is right across from my house, and it means you have to walk a little farther down the hill and then up the hill to get back to your car. And it's perhaps awkward, but that's not my concern. There is the ability to park down below in the property that is serviced by the road. And if we get fishermen in there, the area is posted, and that has been ignored. And fisher people come down and wet a line there, or launch a boat. It's not really a boat launch, but they launch a boat there in the area where the fishing is done. And it's dangerous driving into Newport Yacht Club or leaving Newport Yacht Club. You really want to take your time and be very careful, because people bring their kids down, not unreasonably, but then the kids are not well supervised, and they'll run across the road or play in the road. It's scared the hell out of me more than once. And so far I've been able to see the kids. All it takes is once. And that would be an incident where it would gain a lot of notoriety through the news media. I appreciate the fact that the town has reinforced the road, has shored up the area next to the road, and I appreciate the fact that the town does such a great job of keeping the hill clear of ice and snow. The minor disturbance that we get from the plows going down the hill and coming up the hill pales in comparison to the fact that the hill is well sanded and well maintained, winter and summer. That is appreciated. I hope that you are able to see your way clear to putting parking regulations in place there. The road is not nearly wide enough for parking on one side of the street, never mind on both sides of the street. It would be dangerous, and we have yet to see a good accident there, but we will get one eventually. It's unfortunate, and I think the proposed regulation makes a lot of sense. It will be a minor inconvenience to my guests, perhaps, but what we normally tell guests at our house is to drive down to Newport Yacht Club and then park down there, and we will pick them up and bring them up the hill. The hill is not that bad to climb. I've climbed the hill for over 30 years. I am perfectly glad that I don't have to do it today, but I'm prepared to do that if it's necessary. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Okay. Was there anybody else here who wanted to speak on the proposed? Come on forward, please.
My name's Jim Scantlin, and I live at 110 Arundel Drive with my wife, Jean. And I just can't agree with anything that Mr. Allen has said, just about, a few things here and there, but I don't see at all what he is talking about there in most of the cases. Of just one particular case where he's talking about there's parking at the top of the hill there. That's all taken up by people that live down in the valley. They have no access to their homes there through driving down, so they park there. So there's no other access there for that. And as far as the other stuff he's talking about, I've never seen a problem with parking down there. That's all I have to say.
Thank you. Was there anybody else who wanted to address the board?
I just have one more point.
Sure.
Maybe Mr. Allen's company can park in the Newport Yacht Club, but no one else can. There's the sign you can see in one of those pictures, the one where you could see the small area where the people fish.
Yeah.
You can see in the background there's a sign on the fence. You won't be able to see what it says, but it says private keep out,
Okay.
Newport Sailing Club or whatever.
That's the entrance to the...
Yes, it is.
Okay.
And that part is private. I mean, the town trucks, everybody has to turn around there because there is nowhere else to turn around. But I'm sure they wouldn't appreciate the fishermen parking in their parking lot. I think that would create a call to the police.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. All right, thank you. Did anybody else want to address the board tonight that did not have an opportunity to sign up? No? All right, thank you. Now, for the speakers who are here tonight, obviously they understood what this proposed law was, but for those at home, I neglected, I usually call on someone to just say what this means, what the proposed law means. Can I just ask the chief or Bob, Mr. Kiley, to just indicate for the folks who you know, at home who are watching this exactly what the proposal does?
Absolutely, Mr.
Thank you.
Supervisor.
Right.
Based upon the calls for service that the police department has received over a number of years and given the opportunity to make some enhancements concerning public safety, we revisited this parking regulation and called for the public hearing.
Okay.
One of the concerns that we're having is public safety and first responder response to the area on Seneca Road, in particular as it narrows, because with the type of fire equipment, ambulance, and police response to particular areas, it would be very difficult to navigate that if cars are parked on the roadway. We're also finding that cars are being parked in areas that they should not be in. So taking that into consideration, we notified the residents on Seneca Road. I apologize for those not going out to Arenda, but utilized criteria that had been established. One of the things that I can do, especially for the residents here in regards to the type of calls for service that we are getting as opposed to what they might be experiencing, is to run that data, and I would be more than happy to meet with them to determine with them what the calls for service have been and what they've been about.
Okay.
This has been an issue that, if you will, has been around longer than 2 years, because I go back to my days when I was assigned to the road patrol.
Okay, thank you.
But certainly giving that additional information, I'm more than willing to run that data and be able to explore that with them.
Thank you. Okay. And so he'll follow up with you, and then, thank you for that. I appreciate it. So with that, did anybody else want to address the board? Bob, Mr. Kiley, do you have something you wanted to add?
I can at least attest to the town services that we currently provide to Seneca. We
Okay.
do plow that road. I believe Mr. Allen, and another speaker did discuss some of the stabilization efforts that we have done in the past on behalf of the Department of Public Works and the town as a whole. We do plow and salt that road. I am aware that we, plow that all the way to the end, and then we turn around in that parking lot to establish vehicles to get that plow back up safely to plow other streets in that route.
Great, thank you, Bob. Okay. So with that, just so you understand, we're not voting on the law tonight. We wanted to hear the public input and have a conversation and have that dialogue, and then we will have the town board will consider this at a future town board meeting. And Chief, I appreciate your willingness to follow up with the residents there as well. So I appreciate that. Anybody else before I close the public hearing? Was there anybody else who wanted to speak?
One more point.
Of course. Now's your chance.
Sorry.
Come on forward. That's fine.
It
That's
occurred
fine.
to me when he was speaking.
Of course.
That government representatives are responsible for providing the public access. And it used to be that at the end of every road, that accessed the bay, there was access. There's no longer Newport or Bayview or Point Pleasant. It's all been bought up and privatized. And, there's precious few places to access the public water. And so I just ask you to keep that in mind.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Okay. All right. Anybody else? Okay, with that, I'll have to entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you all for speaking tonight. I appreciate that.
Public hearing number 2. Upon the matter to amend a lease of a portion of the Sea Breeze and Vicinity Water District Tower located at 400 Seneca Road.
Can I have a motion to open the public
So
hearing?
moved.
And a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Was there anyone here who wanted to speak to the lease of the amendment to the lease for a portion of the Seabreeze water tower? All right, seeing none, I am going to make this one caveat. I will speak to it. The town board voted previously to schedule this public hearing for tonight. The Messenger Post paper neglected to print that notice of public hearing in the town's official newspaper. So the town board voted to hold an additional public hearing at a special town board meeting to be held March 31st at 7:35. So if there's anybody watching us at home who wanted to be here tonight, did not have an opportunity to be here, please know there's another opportunity to speak to this. It'll be on March 31st at a special town board meeting that begins at 7:35. So anybody else wanted to speak? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
Moved.
And a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Public hearing number 3, in the matter of scheduling a public hearing pertaining to amending the Arundequoit Community Development Block Grant Program for prior years.
Hold on one second. Can I have a motion to open the public hearing?
Move.
And a second?
Second.
Okay. Anybody here looking to speak on the amendment to the CDBG program from previous years? Seeing none, I'm going to give you the same caveat. This was the same thing. The town board had voted to hold a public hearing tonight on changes to the CDBG program. Again, the Messenger Post did not print that as we had submitted. So the town board, to make sure the public has all the opportunity to come here and speak to us, we again are going to hold an additional public hearing for this on March 31st at the meeting that starts at 7:35. So that'll be the evening of March 31st. We will do this again. But essentially this revision, so people understand, is allowing us to most notably pave additional roads in town because the town sets aside certain CDBG dollar amounts. These are grant dollars from the federal government to pave certain roads in town. We were under budget, and so we're able to add additional roads to prior year's grant awards. So we're going to be able to do those coming up in actually just the next several months, assuming this amendment is approved by the board after a public comment period. And we can probably get that done right after the asphalt plant's open. So this is a good thing, Bob, for you and your team to do. So with that, did any before I close this public hearing, anybody wanted to speak on it? No? Okay. As for a motion to close the public hearing,
So moved.
and a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. And now we can go back and move on with where we left off in the agenda with Dubelbice Lane.
Item number 11, regarding the dedication of Dubelbice Lane.
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
Okay. We already discussed what this is. Does anybody have any other further questions or comments? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Item number 12, regarding guardrail easements on Dubelbice Lane as part of tax map 092.05-1-85.111 and 092.05-1-41.
Can I have a motion?
Moved.
And a second?
Second.
Thank you. Again, another necessary step to allow us to have an easement to the guardrails for the maintenance purposes. Is that right, Mr. Kiley?
That's correct. The guide rail is located along the west side of the newly dedicated town road and is deemed critical infrastructure for the safety of motorists on that roadway.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments from the board? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Item number 13, requesting a certificate of necessity from New York State Department of Transportation regarding Double Bice Lane.
Can I have a motion?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
Thank you. And again, the last step in dedication of a road is requesting the certificate necessary from New York State DOT. Any questions or comments from the board? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Item number 14, calling of a public hearing to include 994 Brown Road into the Consolidated Sewer District.
Can I have a motion?
Moved.
And a second?
Second.
Okay, Mr. Kiley.
This resolution would call for a public hearing, so at next month's town board meeting on April 21st, there would be a public hearing to include the property at 994 Brown Road and allow that property to connect into the sanitary sewer system, the consolidated sewer district for the town.
Thank you. Any questions or comments from the board? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Item number 15, authorizing the calling of a public hearing to include 4120 St. Paul Boulevard into the Consolidated Sewer District.
Move it.
And a second?
Second.
Mr. Kiley?
Exactly similar to the previous resolution, this would call for a public hearing at next month's board meeting on April 21st for the purpose of property 4120 St. Paul Boulevard to connect into the Consolidated Sewer District to receive sanitary sewer services.
Any questions or comments from the board? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Item number 16, regarding sanitary sewer easements in the Somerville area.
Can I have a motion?
Moved.
And a second?
Second.
Any questions or comments from the board? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Item number 17, authorizing the supervisor to accept an update to an agreement for Monroe County all-seasons work in Monroe County rights-of-way.
Can I have a motion?
Moved.
And a second?
Second.
Any questions or comments from the board? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Item number 18, authorizing the supervisor to enter into various contracts with vendors for the town's 2016 Oktoberfest celebration.
So moved.
And can I have a
Second.
Fantastic, thank you. And we, just so the public, I'll make a little announcement here. The 2016 Oktoberfest celebration is occurring again. The annual festival will happen this year on September 9th and 10th, the 16th and the 17th. So mark your calendars. It's September 9th and 10th, and then the 16th and 17th later this fall. And any questions or comments from the board?
I'm just proud that one of the services provided our Burgermeister services.
That's great. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Item number 19, accepting the proposal for consultation services for staffing of parking personnel, day, overnight supervisors, ticket takers, and ticket sellers, and authorizing the supervisor to enter into an agreement for these services.
And a second?
Second.
Thank you. This went through the town's RFP selection process, and thank the RFP selection committee for doing that. And again, this is for the, you heard what it was consultation services for the staffing, parking personnel, ticket takers, things of that nature for our special events. Any questions or comments from the board? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Item number 20, authorizing the supervisor to enter into various contracts with vendors for the town's 2016 July 4th celebration.
Can I have a motion?
Move.
And a second? Great. Okay, the July 4th celebration will happen again this year. Our annual festival will be on Monday, July 3rd, and Tuesday, July 4th. So again, mark your calendars for July 3rd and July 4th right here at the Town Hall grounds. Any questions or comments from the board? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Item number 21, authorizing the supervisor to enter into various contracts with vendors for the town's 2016 Winterfest celebration.
Can I have a motion?
Moved.
And a second?
Second.
Thank you. This was for another successful Winterfest, our second annual this year, which I think went very well. So I want to thank everybody for their hard work and everybody for attending that event. Any other questions or comments from the board? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Item number 22, authorizing a new vendor contract for a youth recreational program for winter, spring 2016.
In a second?
Second.
Great, thank you. The town board has the list of family programs. The other thing I would just mention is that for all the last several resolutions we adopted for contracts, those contracts were available for the town board's review at the town board workshop meeting, so they were reviewed by the town board before tonight. I would urge you to be on the lookout for the town's next activity guide, where we are continuing to offer some new programs and expand our recreation offerings. So we're doing the staff there. Thank you, Bob and Katrina and everyone for doing a great job with that. Any questions or comments from the board? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Item number 23, authorizing the promotion to a maintenance mechanic 1 in the Bureau of Recreation and Community Services.
All right, can I have a motion? And a second.
Second.
Thank you. Commissioner Kiley, or Mr. Vanette?
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. There is a vacancy for a maintenance mechanic 1 in the Bureau of Recreation and Community Services. This position is represented by CSEA and was posted per contract guidelines. The Acting Commissioner of Public Works recommends the promotion of Cosmo Pusateri to fill this position.
Thank you, Director Burnett. I'm very pleased to put Cosmo's name before the town board this evening. Cosmo is currently a maintenance mechanic 2 within the Bureau of Public Works, working primarily at Camp Eastman. While another working foreman, Greg Mayer, takes a lot of the lead through the various playgrounds, Cosmo takes the lead at Camp Eastman, looking after our facilities there and our grounds on site. An employee since 2004, Cosmo is a versatile jack-of-all-trades employee who can assist in pretty much any type of skilled trade. A variety of plumbing work when needed, a point person for interior renovations and remodeling, and really any electrical repairs that the town currently has. I couldn't be happier to put Cosmo's name to the town board for promotion to Maintenance Mechanic 1 this evening.
Thank you. Any questions or comments from the board? Seeing none, I'll echo those comments made by Commissioner Kiley. I think Cosmo's doing a fantastic job and is deserving of this promotion tonight, so congratulations. With nothing else from the board, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Cosmo is here. If you'd like to stand and be recognized, congratulations.
Item number 24, authorizing the hiring of an automotive mechanic in the Department of Public Works.
Move it.
Can I have a second?
Second.
Okay. Mr. Vanette?
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. Whereas there is a vacancy for an automotive mechanic in the Department of Public Works, and this position is also represented by CSEA and was posted per contract guidelines. The Acting Commissioner of Public Works recommends the hiring of Matthew Perry to fill this full-time position.
All right.
Thank you, Director. The interview team and I, Labor Foreman Mark Newman, Labor Foreman Joe Labini, Senior Auto Mechanic Tim Hughes, and myself conducted several interviews with several very qualified candidates. And we put the name of Matthew Perry before the town board tonight for permanent appointment to the position of automotive mechanic within the Department of Public Works. Matthew grew up in Irondequoit and has spent the last 14-plus years of employment with the Bob Kaiser Repair Garage. Matthew specializes in light truck repairs and automotive repair, working on everything from major engine repairs, transmission repairs, to the everyday brake and oil jobs. He currently has a CDL permit with both an air brake and tanker endorsement, which is a plus. As during the winter months, our mechanics do double duty, and there are actually some of the folks out plowing. Out of the 5 applications received and the 5 interviews conducted, Matthew stood out due to his intimate knowledge of OBD2 and his experience with light vehicle repair, and his experience welding is also a plus. His resume was attached for the town board, and we're looking to bring him on full-time. He was not able to attend tonight's board meeting. He's actually at work now, staying late, but sends his regards and wishes he could be here.
It's a good excuse.
Yes.
All right. Any questions or comments from the board? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Congratulations, Matthew.
Item number 25, authorizing the promotion to a maintenance mechanic 1 in the Department of Public Works.
Can I have a motion?
Moved.
In a second.
Second.
Okay, Mr. Vanette.
Yes, whereas there is a vacancy for a maintenance mechanic 1 in the Department of Public Works Sanitation Division. This position is also represented by CSEAs and was posted per contract guidelines. The Acting Commissioner of Public Works recommends the promotion of Gregory Arena to fill this full-time position.
Okay, Mr. Kiley.
Thank you, Director Vanette and Mr. Supervisor. Greg Arena is currently a maintenance mechanic 2 within the Department of Public Works in the Sanitation Division. Greg is a 19-year veteran employee of the town and constantly and always displays a positive attitude and demonstrates a great work ethic on a day-to-day basis. Greg is responsible for the rebuild of countless number of pumps in our sanitary stations, our pump stations throughout town. In addition to his routine daily tasks of making sure that the pump stations are up and operational and functioning appropriately, Greg doubles as our go-to individual when it comes to any electrical wiring. Greg and Cosmo both were responsible and are responsible for a lot of the electrical conduit that's placed here on the Town Hall campus that's used by the 4th of July and all of our special events such as Winterfest and all the like. So I couldn't be more pleased and extremely proud to put Greg's name to the town board tonight for promotion to Maintenance Mechanic 1.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Kiley. Again, I'm going to echo your comments about Mr. Arena, and I also want to thank him for his years of service to the town and for working with us so much for all these years. So thank you for that as well. This is a much-deserved promotion for you, so congratulations. Any other questions or comments from the board? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Greg, I'm going to ask you to stand again, and congratulations. All right.
Item number 26, authorizing the hiring of a light laborer in building maintenance.
Can I have a motion?
Moved.
In a second. Mr. Vanette.
Yes, whereas there is a vacancy for a light laborer in building maintenance, and whereas this position is represented by CSEA White Collar Unit and was posted per contract guidelines, the Acting Commissioner of Public Works recommends the hiring of Stephen McDaniels to fill this position.
Okay, Mr. Kiley.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. Steve is currently a part-time light laborer working in building maintenance, covering a lot of the custodial duties at the library at this time. And over the last year and a half, I've had the pleasure of working with Steve at a variety of different locations. Steve has been a go-to individual for us in building maintenance, being at facilities such as the Town Hall, Pine Grove, Camp Eastman, and then Public Safety, Highway, and ultimately at the library. Steve has been at the library since it's opened and has a great grasp on the day-to-day operations and day-to-day job duties as a light laborer. I'm very confident in Steve's ability and am very excited to put his name to the town board tonight.
Great, thank you. Again, I've had the opportunity to see Mr. McDaniel's work over there in the library. I think this is a really good thing. I think he's doing a fantastic job over there, and I think this is needed in order to stay on top of the maintenance and care of our brand new facility over there, and make sure we're caring for all our town facilities. So this is a really good thing, and I think Mr. McDaniel's is very deserving of this for the work he's demonstrated in his part-time position there. Any other questions or comments from the board?
No, I just want to make one and echo what you guys have just said, that Steve's doing a good job at the library since it's open, and I know he's helping some of the contractors that are still in and out, doing some of the punch list stuff. He's kind of the go-to guy over there, so it's going to make a difference with him over there too, that's for sure, and I think we owe him a big thank you for keeping that building maintenance and things going on over there really well, so thank you, Steve.
Okay. With that, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Steve McDaniels is here. If you'd like to stand and be congratulated. Welcome aboard.
Item number 27, authorizing an agreement with Frontier Communications.
Can I have a motion?
Moved.
And a second.
Second.
Thank you. And this is an agreement that would allow us to provide access to the internet from the cemetery, which I think is a needed function over there that we need to. Did the board have any further questions or comments about this? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Item number 28, authorizing the purchase of 3 2016 Ford Police Utility Interceptor all-wheel drive vehicles and the associated appropriation transfer within the 2016 Police Department budget.
So moved.
And a second?
Second?
Okay, did any of the board have any questions or comments? Seeing none, thank you, Chief, for the resolution tonight, and again, thank you to the town board for your commitment to our public safety infrastructure here at the town and making sure that our police department, through our budget process, has the equipment that's necessary to keep us safe and patrol the streets. So I want to thank the town board for their commitment to this. No other questions or comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. This last agenda item, the next special town board meeting is March 31st at 7:35. The next workshop is April 14th at 4 o'clock. And the next regular town board meeting will be on April 21st at 7 p.m. I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
And a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right.
I would feel like we should say amen.
Amen.
We hope you enjoyed this presentation of the Irondequoit Town Board on ICAT 12, Irondequoit's government access channel.